friends, it's Jay. Today's video is going to be about fragrances that have a prominent musk note, and the musk note in these fragrances is definitely appropriate for this warm weather, spring and summer, high heat, even milder weather. I think musk is appropriate for all year round, but I think these are specifically good for this warm weather because of the florals and the fruits that are added to the musk. So these are musky fragrances with the addition of fruits and florals to brighten them up. So let's go ahead and get started. The first fragrance I'm gonna mention is from one of my favorite designer brands. This is Dolce & Gabbana. Let me just clean it up a little bit. This is Dolce. This is the original. There are a lot of spin-offs of this fragrance. Clearly, this one is very loved. It's a smooth, watery, white floral musk. Okay, so when I first spray it, I definitely get those florals, those smooth white florals, clean white florals. But as my body heats up, as I go outside, the musk comes out. And it's very fluffy, it's very clean. This fragrance is not sweet. So if you're a person who likes florals and likes a fluffy musk, easy grab. This fragrance can be worn anywhere, anytime. You don't have to think about it, and you're gonna smell right no matter where you are. So this is fresh, clean, watery, fluffy musk, not too sweet. So this is Dolce by Dolce & Gabbana. Really easy to love. The next fragrance is new to my collection, and this is a brand that I got into, and the more I smell, the more I smelled the ones I had, the more I wanted, to complete the collection. I need to not do that, but this one is Boss. This is the scent Pure Accord. Okay, so I have Private Accord, the scent Absolute. The names I think are eluding me right now, but I think you know what I mean. But this one is the lightest of them all. So this is bergamot at the top. This has osmanthus. So osmanthus is a yellow floral that is similar to apricot, and it's can have like a suede note too. And there's a clean musk at the base. So again, when you spray this one, it's citrusy, more citrusy than the other. The Dolce doesn't have any fruits or citruses in it, but this one does, and you can get that right off the bat. So citruses mixed with apricot, I think, is a good mix. It's kind of hard to pick apart, and it's not, I have to clarify, I'm not going on a tangent. Apricot is don't think this is in this fragrance, but if it were to be a floral like the osmanthus, I feel like it's mildly fruity. Apricots are a mild fruit anyway. They don't have a strong flavor. They're just kind of sweet and juicy if they're ripe. Kind of tart, I guess, from the skin if you're eating the skin. This is beautiful at the top, so the musk definitely starts to come out as you wear it. It warms up on your skin similar to the Dolce, but it's still a clean musk, okay? This is a beautiful fragrance. I'm definitely gonna be wearing this more this summer, probably in the fall too, but this is, I could see this as a work fragrance. This could be a signature fragrance. So this is Boss. This is the scent Pure Accord. The next fragrance, I think I'm definitely a peach lover. This is Ricina by Canto. But this is a fragrance that definitely has some peach in it. That's what I get mostly from the top. There's some citruses in here, but what I do get mostly is the peach, and it's a fresh peach. Okay, this is a peach maybe that is not overly sweet. It's not maybe at the ripest point, but you can still eat it with some clean white florals and a very clean musk. So it's a natural smelling peach. When I first got this fragrance, I had a hard time smelling it, I have to admit, so I had to let it sit for a little while. And now I can pick everything up easily, and it's beautiful. Yeah, like I said, it's a juicy, fresh peach, like just bitten into it. This fragrance is fresh. I don't feel a lot of warmth in this fragrance at all. It's very, I keep saying clean, but that's what it is. It's very clean. If you haven't tried this one out, this is definitely worth trying out. This is Ricina by Canto. The next fragrance that I'll mention is, it has to be the OG. I mean, I don't think I could mention a fruity, musky list without this fragrance, and this is Chance au Tendre by Chanel. And I haven't been loving on this fragrance the way that it deserves to be loved. I think that this is a beautiful fragrance. It deserves attention. Right from the atomizer, you get that musk. It's more of a woody musk. You get the woods. I do, but it's heavily musky. When it's sprayed, it's sweet. It has a sweetness to it for sure. It has quince and grapefruit in it, and there's some white florals. Hyacinth, I think that's a purple flower in here as well, but it has a sweetness to it. Not overly sweet. It's not it's not syrupy or anything like that, but right off the top, when you spray it, you get that grapefruit and the quince. Yeah, it's really nice. And then it dries down to that sweet, woody, musky base. So this is definitely one that I need to give more love. A lot of people don't feel like this fragrance lasts very long, but I don't know. I don't really talk about projection and performance because I feel like, you know, I get a lot from my fragrances if I spray them both on skin and on my clothes. If you're going to do that, you just have to be careful about what you're wearing and where you spray it. But, you know, I don't really feel like my fragrances give me a whole lot of performance issues when I do that. So that's just my thing. I would suggest that you guys do that too, just to get more longevity out of your fragrances. Saying that, I said all that to say I don't really have a problem with longevity when I wear this fragrance. So that is Chance au Tendre by Chanel. The next one is one I've been spraying a lot, and I feel like it is probably the most pure musk out of the whole list. This is Musk Mood by Lattafa. This has some citruses on top. It lists some fruity notes. I mean, it doesn't specify, it just says fruity notes. But this fragrance is mostly musky. Okay, it's a bright white musk. The citruses and the fruits are there. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. And the citruses, possibly the fruits too, I feel like they're there to brighten up the fragrance. But this fragrance has a little bit of warmth to it. It's almost like if you were to bring some clothes just out of the dryer that have just finished drying. So they have that warm feel, but they still smell like whatever laundry detergent. Say you used a citrusy, clean laundry detergent. So that it has a warm feel and temperature, excuse me, but it still smells fresh and clean, you know? Citrusy, musky. That's how I would describe this fragrance. I have to say that the bottle design is really beautiful. I thought that I might have trouble with these ribbons, and as you can see, I've been spraying it, and I mean, it's like new. They're pretty sturdy on there. I don't see them coming off. I do put my fragrances back in their boxes when I'm not using them, but like I said, I've had no trouble with the presentation, so it's beautiful. This is Musk Mood by Lattafa. I would buy this over and over and over again. I feel like this would be a staple in my collection for sure. Excuse me. The next fragrance I have, okay, so this is another, I don't know if I snuck these in. You guys tell me what you think. These are powdery, but I still feel like they have a musky feel, okay? This one is Dolce & Gabbana. This is Perfume. So this is a raspberry. I'm cleaning this off. Raspberry. There's some orange blossom, marshmallow. There's some heliotrope in this fragrance. But overall, I feel like that powderiness, everything mixed together, I still get a musky vibe from this fragrance. So let's see. Yeah, I feel like it, I still feel like it's musky. So fruity floral, powdery musk. The raspberry stands out a lot. This fragrance lasts longer than I would expect. I wore this one time. I sprayed it in the morning, went to work. I had some patients in the afternoon, and she actually gave me a compliment after lunch saying that my fragrance smelled good and I couldn't smell it myself. So this one definitely lasts longer than you would think. If you feel like you're having projection or longevity issues with this fragrance, you might just be anosmic to it, because I know I was. That is Dolce & Gabbana Perfume. The next one, I have to give a shout out to Lulu for putting me on this brand. She was talking about Giardini, Benessere, and she had bought an amber fragrance from that brand. And I checked it out. I bought the amber, but I also bought Pompei Garden. And it's really nice. I feel like it's similar to the Dolce & Gabbana Perfume in a different way. I think the powdery fruitiness of it makes it similar, but this has more pineapple, there's apple, white florals, there's musk, I think there's amber. I'll put the notes up for sure. But this fragrance I feel is a little bit more juicy than the other. Got in my eye. At least I'm not sneezing. Yeah, it's a little more juicy on top. So pineapple, green apple, maybe more vanilla. I wouldn't necessarily say creamy. I would say this is definitely more powdery and musky. And it has some sweetness to it. So this is really nice. I got this for about $60 on FragranceNet. I haven't checked, so I'm not sure if these are still available, but if you can get it, I think that it's worth trying. So that is Pompei Garden, if you can see it. I'll put it up, by Giardini Benessere. The next fragrance I have is inspired. No, I'll mention that next. The next one is Draco by Tiziana Terenzi. And in past videos, I've described this fragrance, summed it up as a peachy baby powder musk. And I feel like that sums it up. It's pretty accurate. When you spray it, that peach note is very similar to the peach note in Ricina. It's very natural, fresh cut. You can imagine a fresh peach in your hand with the peach note in here. This one, I mean, it's by the same perfumer, Paolo Terenzi, but this one is sweeter, definitely. There's vanilla in here. There are powdery notes and musky notes. It's a simple fragrance, but a beautiful fragrance, okay? I'll give you an idea of what the sprayer does. Good atomizer. And it's nice. Very clean, mildly sweet, fresh. This works great for heat. I think musk in general works great in the heat. And I always say if it works in the heat, it's probably gonna work great in all temperatures. You might not get so much projection from the musk, but you can still wear these fragrances in all weather. So that is Draco by Tiziana Terenzi. It's beautiful. All right, so the next one I wanted to mention together, but this was also inspired by Lulu. I was looking for a fragrance that had ginger, citruses, and white florals. And this is, she suggested Jasmine Isha by Moresque. This bottle is so dope. It's so nice. I love the ombre. I love the design on the front. There's another one. There's a whole Secret Garden collection from Moresque. Another one I have called Alma Pure that is really, really beautiful. I want to talk about that one later. But there is ginger all through this fragrance. I feel like I may have snuck this one in because there are white florals here. There's jasmine, and I think there's orange blossom as well. But ginger and citruses and musk are what I really, really get from this fragrance. I don't too much get a lot of the white florals. When I smell it from the cap, it has sweetness too. So it's a sweet, oh, it's a sweet musk. It's really beautiful. This is very sultry. I feel like it could be worn, probably should be worn in the evenings, maybe date nights. This is really, really, really nice. Very sweet. Makes somebody want to get a little bit closer. And that atomizer is really, really nice. It gives you a lot. Yeah, so spicy, slightly spicy. I think I read somewhere that ginger can give off a citric note as well. So I think there's mandarin with the ginger running all through. The white florals, I feel like I'm being repetitive. I really like this one. I haven't gotten a chance to wear it like I want to. But yeah, I'm excited to. So that is Jasmine Isha by Moresque. The next one is Initio Musk Therapy. And I only have this decant, but be sure that when this is done, there is a full bottle coming. I would say that this fragrance is probably, it would be one of my top 3 if I were to have a category of fruity musks, because there is black currant in here. This is a very clean musk, but there's something about it. I think it's the sandalwood, the addition of sandalwood in here, that makes it feel very rounded and a little bit creamy. It's a little bit warm. So the sandalwood, I think, keeps it from being, I've said before, keeps it from being astringent, because the white musk in here is very clean. Oh my goodness, it's really something that when it warms up on your skin, it's really, really luxurious feeling. And not just because it's Initio. They really did a great job with this fragrance as far as giving you, that's a dangerous statement. I want to say giving you what you pay for, because I feel like it's so expensive. I mean, maybe you could get it on a discount. Maybe like 100, maybe 150 I would pay for this bottle. But it does feel luxurious. Never pay full price. Always try to find your fragrances on a discount. I can't say that. I have never said that, I don't think, but I mean, I feel like that's common sense. Don't pay full price if you don't have to. You can get luxury at a discount. So this is definitely coming, definitely going to be an addition to my collection. Initio Musk Therapy. Try it out if you haven't. The next fragrance, I found this at TJ Maxx. This is Attimo by Salvatore Ferragamo. And I was pleasant. This is a blind buy. And this was probably about $20, maybe $25 at TJ Maxx. This is an older fragrance. I think it was a 90s fragrance. I think it came out in the 90s. I'll have to research that. But the bottle is cute. The fragrance is more than cute. This, when you first spray it, it is kind of fruity and watery. Not fruity. Don't let me say fruity. It's really not fruity. There is pear in this fragrance, but you're not going to identify the pear as pear, okay? I think it just adds a maybe a wateriness to this fragrance, maybe brightens it up a little bit, because there's also lotus in here. So when you first spray it, it's kind of airy and watery. Can you be airy and watery? That's what I get from here. But from the atomizer, even when you first spray it, I mean, when you first smell it from the atomizer, taken away from the spray and the development, I feel like the dry down of most fragrances is clearly going to be on the atomizer because it's been sitting there. But anyway, there is musk, heavy musk, and patchouli. patchouli definitely adds to the musk and the lotus and the pear in this fragrance. And I feel like this is so sexy. I feel like this is a fragrance that should be worn in the heat, in the warmer weather for sure. But in the evenings, this the patchouli, it does the same thing. I don't know, if you haven't watched my other videos, you should go back and watch some videos where I talk about Elisab. That's an orange blossom that has a lot of patchouli. And I feel like the patchouli in those fragrances adds a moisture to it. And I feel like that makes it very sensual. That patchouli is doing that same thing in here. It makes it feel a little bit like your skin, you know, like you've been in humidity. And it's really, really nice. This is, I would say, a date night fragrance. So a cheap, I don't like to say cheapy. This is very affordable, okay? But it's great quality. This is Salvatore Ferragamo Attimo, okay? The next fragrance I feel is different in notes. It doesn't smell the same at all, but I feel like it does the same thing as the Attimo. It might be a little bit more versatile because the notes are kind of sweeter. They're not as sultry, you know. This is more of a fun-ish fragrance. This is Lancôme Musk Diamant. So the raspberry, and the musk, there's almond in here. I think there's some vanilla as well. Maybe some sandalwood, I can't remember, but I'll put it up. What I get from the top is definitely a fruitiness. When you spray it, you get the raspberry, but it feels very fluffy. As it dries down though, it has a thickness to it. It has a density to it. And this fragrance, I sprayed it on to test it overnight. And when I woke up the next morning, I was still getting strong whiffs of this fragrance. So I sprayed it probably about 2 or 3 times on my pulse points, my wrist and my cleavage. And I still was getting some whiffs of it. So this fragrance hangs on, and it is musky, almondy, it's dense, and it might be good for actual nighttime, maybe evenings, and maybe even milder weather. I don't know if this would be the one to wear in the high heat because it is on the thick side, you know. It is kind of, I don't know if this is an airy fragrance. I feel like it's a little bit dense. It also has a slight medicinal note from it. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's the fruit mixed with the other notes, the raspberry mixed with the other notes, but it's faint. I mean, it's something, if you don't pick it up right away, you probably have to look for it. It's probably not going to be something that bothers you at all. It's very faint, but I pick it up. Let me know if you do. But I think that this is a very nice fragrance, but like I said, may not be the one to wear on the hottest day. So I feel like there's a lot more going on than just raspberry and musk. So yeah, that is Lancôme Musk Diamant. And look at the bottle. It's beautiful. All right, so the next one I have is another one that I found at TJ Maxx. This is Moschino Toyboy. Or, I'm lying, this is not Toyboy, this is Toy 2. Toyboy is in the black bottle. But this fragrance, I have to say, I didn't necessarily like it when I first sprayed it. And that was when it first came out. I was in the mall, probably Macy's or Dillard's or something like that. And the sales associate, you know how they spray the little strips and they give them to you. And there was something, this is a fragrance that has that laundry musk. It's very clean. And the way that the fruits up top were mixing with the laundry musk, I was not used to that smell. And I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. There is white currant, apple in this fragrance, possibly some peach. I'm gonna put up the notes as I do. But definitely that very clean muskiness in the base. And I love the currant in here. It feels very juicy. It's very juicy on top. A little bit sweet. So I think that apple keeps it from being, I don't know. Sometimes berries are sweet, sometimes they're not. But I like the mixture of the berries and the apple because I don't know that I go so far as to call this a tart fragrance. But it's definitely fresh, sweet. I mean, berries, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it. I mean, berries can be juicy. Apples are juicy. Some apples can be tart. The mix of them is just not overly sweet, but it does have a little bit of sweetness to it and juiciness. Let me go ahead and stop there with this fragrance. Like I said, it does dry down to a beautiful, juicy, fruity laundry powder musk, and the bottle is just adorable. So yeah, that is Moschino Toy 2. The next two I put in here, musk is very prominent in these fragrances, but when you smell the atomizer, you're not necessarily going to get the musk. The musk is something that has to develop in these fragrances, okay? So when you first spray these, you're definitely gonna get fruits, okay? Maybe some florals. It's a white floral fragrance, but what is the most prominent in this fragrance? This is Dahlia Dion by Givenchy, and this is the EDP. There's plum in here, apple, there's peaches, I think black currant as well. So it's kind of a sweet but tart fragrance. I think those are my favorite fruits, sweet but tart. I think there is a theme. Sweet but tart fruits. And there is a vanillic musky base. If you've been watching me, maybe you'll know what I'm going to mention next, because I always mention them together, not because of the top notes, but because of how they dry down. I feel like it's very similar. This is Lancôme Idole. This is the EDP. This is a pear, a rose pear jasmine fragrance that is also very beautiful. Let me show you the atomizer here. I'm so happy I'm not sneezing. So I feel like I can just spray, spray, spray. Yeah, so that's the sweet tartness of the opening. This atomizer here, we'll show you this one. Great atomizers. That fresh pear is fresh. It's fresh, juicy pear with some bright rose and some clean jasmine. But when they dry down, the musk is fluffy and it's vanillic. So, and it lasts. That's what you get with these fragrances. Beautiful, beautiful. If you haven't tried them out, I feel like you're missing out. So get these. Sample them. Okay, so the next three I feel are very similar. It just depends on the level of musk that you want. That was wrong. The level of fruit that you want, but I feel like the musk is definitely the same. I did a video, my last video was about these fragrances, and they are Ana Abiyedh. This is pear and bergamot, and it has vanilla in it. There's musk and amber. Clean amber is what's listed on the brand's information. There is Kajal Almaz by Max Aroma. This is just a decant. Very juicy blackberry or black currant. There's citruses. Can't remember more of the fruits. I think that's all I'm going to say because that's all I can remember. But the citruses mixed with the black currant, excuse me, make this feel like passion fruit, but it's juicy, and the fruits, the concentration of the fruits is rich, okay, in this fragrance. And this is Cassiopeia by Tiziana Terenzi. There's passion fruit, there's citruses, and fern, so it's a little bit green. Sweet, tart, a little bit tropical from the passion fruit. I get tropical passion fruit from this Almaz, and this is definitely a fruity, that fruity, juicy nature that these other two fragrances bring, the Lattafa Ana Abiyedh. But I brought them all together because they have that clean laundry powder musk note in the base. So I feel like these are interchangeable dependent on what type of fruit note you want at the top, whether you want it to be fruity, kind of more tropical and green. This is tropical and rich, the Almaz. And this is just fruity. It's fruity and juicy and sweet. So all these have a level of sweetness to them as well. But these are my musk fragrances that have additions of fruits and florals. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. To all the people who keep coming back, I really appreciate your support, and I appreciate you watching my videos. That's all I have to say for now. You guys put in your favorite musk fragrances that have fruity and floral notes in the comments. Let me know what I should get my nose on. So that's all I have for today. Love, Jay. Bye-bye.